Iran's remaining leadership appears ready to appoint the son of the assassinated Ayatollah as its next supreme leader. Look, we told that there are reports that already happened. There are reports that they killed him too. This is a very tricky situation because we do not have eyes on the ground. President Trump announced today, Khamenei's son is a lightweight. I have to be involved in the appointment, like with Delcy in Venezuela. Help me understand. I thought we weren't about regime change. Now the president is saying he has to be involved in who the new leader is. Now you can say, well, of course he does, but then just be true about it. Be true. We are about regime change. We just don't know if we can make it happen, right? The idea, oh, you must support the regime. I don't support the regime. Can you make it happen? Can you get rid of them in a way that doesn't make things worse for the people there and here? Let's bring in retired Air Force Brigadier General John Teichert and the CIA's former station chief in Venezuela, Rick Delatorre. Gentlemen, thank you very much. First, let's start with what is always the easiest question. Did anything I just said offend your sense of truth and purpose?
Chris, for me, absolutely not. And I think there's two thoughts here that are true at the same time. Number one, President Trump wants regime change. But point number two, President Trump wants an off-ramp if it doesn't look like we're going to get there so that we achieve military objectives. He declares success and we stop.
Yeah, help me understand this one, Rick. I was actually going to reach out to you, even off the show, just to get your head on it. You know, I'm a big fan of yours, your expertise, and the philosophical construct you bring to it. Everybody knows the regime sucks and is oppressing the people there, is a total tip of the spear of terror, and has to go. That's the easy part. The hard part is, how do you do it and get out in a way where it's not somehow worse, which we seem to be seeing in our experiences abroad? What's your take?
Yeah, look, I mean, if you look at some of the other places where we've had it, I can see that, places like Afghanistan and Iraq, those are significant challenges. But you know, let's be clear, Iran's different for a number of different reasons. That is that the overwhelming population of Iran wants nothing to do with Khomeini or the clerics or the mullahs there, and they want to shed all that. The goal now is obviously and Trump's right on this one, to find a moderate, find someone who could lead, you know, who could lead Iran into the next into its next stage and actually, you know, shed all that fanaticism that they have in their religion. You know, they've done a good job of wiping out the entire clerical command, starting with Khomeini all the way down, who knows, 2, 3, 4 different levels. So along with that, I suspect some of those moderates were probably killed too. But regardless, the idea that he wants to have a say in who they pick, that's the smartest thing. I would definitely demand that. I mean, what are we going to do? Have them, you know, have them go back to another Khomeini style leadership?
I'm not saying. First of all, there is a risk, right? In the power vacuum, that's a reasonable risk. We saw that with the Arab Spring, right? That not a lot of those places are better now. So I totally get wanting it. It's totally smart. Just don't tell me you're not there for regime change. You're just there to degrade capabilities, because that's not what's going on. And I'll bounce question to you before I go to Teichert. CIA brother. Do you think that the people on the ground working with the intelligence agencies from Israel can do enough to get the Kurds and the other motivated opposition groups to make a meaningful run at this regime? Or do you need the IRGC to capitulate?
Yeah, look, whether they capitulate or not, the smart thing to do is capitulate, because now as we win over air superiority over Iran, now, you know, we'll be able to pick off any remnants of IRGC, you know, over the following weeks. As for motivation for the Kurds or others within Iran, the motivation exists. They just need the top cover, and to know that, you know, that they're going to be somehow protected. It's not that easy. I get that. You know, there's issues with Turkey. There's issues with Iraq. There's issues on the Kazakhstan side. All of them have their own issues with the Kurds and what they're doing. But I think it's a one way of getting boots on the ground that aren't our boots, certainly Kurdish boots, and they want this just as bad as anybody else.
Yeah, I mean, boots on the ground. You know, I hope we don't have to have that conversation. Let me just put it that way. But General
I don't
Teicher,
think we do.
let me
I
bring
don't
it.
think we do.
Well, I hope not. Let's just see. Hope is not a plan, right? As you guys taught us. General, let me get your take on something. The drones. Why are we asking Ukraine for help with drones? Why is this such a menace for us that all the reporting that I'm getting is that, this is one phase. It makes me feel, and I hate to say this, but both of you guys will get it. Do you remember when we were in Iraq and all of a sudden we were awakened to the reality in Mosul of door-to-door, in-close urban fighting? And it wasn't what we had been about up until then. And then we had to flood in with all the special operators. This feels like that. Are drones used by Iran with a level of sophistication that we are not ready for? Is that why we're asking Ukraine for help?
Chris, I think to some extent we are fascinated with the high-end technology, and sometimes the gap or the hole in our swing is something that is far less advanced than that. I do think it's wise that Ukraine now is helping us both for their sake and for ours, because they've gone to school on these types of capabilities for the last 4 years, and they've developed equipment and they've created tactics, techniques, and procedures to counter it. And I think that that can fill this hole in that exists now. But I think the root cause may be that we're so fascinated with high end that we forgot about something as basic and as simple as $30,000 drones.
Ay, ay, ay.
Exactly.
This is why I wanted this thing debated. Not to give away, TTP or strategy, but so that we could have ownership of this proposition, that this looks easy. We got the mightiest military in the history of military. But once the easy part is done, which is staying above, everything gets more and more tricky. General, thank you. Rick, I appreciate you. And I'll be in touch because I need the tutelage.